See, Goughie, when we're talking about Jack Grealish or whether injured players can go to the Euros, it's players like Danny Ings. If Grealish does get a place, it's players like Danny Ings who may well end up missing out. We were talking about Eric Dyer earlier as well. There's a whole list of people who, even when you pick a 26-man squad, even without Jack Grealish, you've got Ings, Keane, Godfrey, Tarkowski, Hudson-Odoi, Maddison, Bamford, Konsa, Dyer, Trippier. Will they all miss out? So you're thinking, yeah, we've got to take an injured player. And then there's those players missing out as well. Danny Ings is one who, if you're looking at strikers, Kane is a definite.
Yep.
Dominic Calvert-Lewin's having a terrific season and is in the conversation for sure. Mason Greenwood is having a dream end to the season, isn't it? It's quite phenomenal. Last 6 Premier League games, 6 goals. I mean, he's having a real impact. And you spoke about the obvious qualities he's got. And if, without sounding too ridiculous, his obvious qualities are he's got 2 brilliant feet.
Plays with both feet, can play anywhere on the front line. I think realistically, mainly he's going to play probably out wide if he does get an opportunity. Have we got enough, you know what I mean? Have we already got enough wide players to play through the middle? It'd be interesting. I mean, Danny Ings, for me, is a fantastic player. I know I've brought this up before, but when you have someone as high quality as Ian Rush talking about Danny Ings and saying how good a player he is and the qualities he has got, and it was just the wrong time and the injuries he had at Liverpool, he saw him as a player that could definitely play for Liverpool, but unfortunate for him and the injuries, he had to go out, and he's got a Southampton aid. I mean, look where he scored his goals, at Burnley and Southampton. You know what I mean? He's a proper goal scorer. I mean, that first goal he scored last night, tight position, turn, put it in the corner of the net. I mean, everything about that, his power, his skill, his knowledge of where he knows where the net is, everything about it was fantastic.
12 Premier League goals, only 1 against a current top 4 side. And had a chance at Liverpool, didn't take it. In an FA Cup semi-final, didn't turn up. So great character, terrific player, but is he a big-time player?
I said, I'd call that. I mean, you're playing for Southampton. How many chances are you going to get against a top 4 side?
Well, probably about 8 a year.
Well, no, I meant when you're playing in the game. Look at you're going to hardly have any possession, which they haven't against these sides. The chances you're going to get in front of goal, that's what I meant. Now, if you said every game he played in those, he had chances and he missed them, it's a different debate. But if you're even had a player, kick it that way.
You might be right, but if you're a top player, I mean, and too good for a club like Southampton, who, you know, before yesterday's game were 4th bottom. If you are, and I believe he is too good for Southampton, but if you are a top player, do you not have an impact in those games? That's where you really get noticed, isn't it? Look at Jack Grealish, the 7-2 against Liverpool. I mean, that's a phenomenal performance he put in there. And yeah, we all knew he was brilliant before, but that's a performance that elevates you to another level.
Right. Look at the goals he's scoring at the club he's at. I mean, when we're talking about other guys, you've got Callum Wilson scored goals at Bournemouth, and he scored that many, as many Danny Ings has put in the back of the net. And he got noticed. He's got Newcastle. He scored goals
not a great
again.
move, by the way.
Well, it's not for him, but I wouldn't have expected him to go anywhere else. But with Danny Ings, I think he's got everything. He really has. The only thing that goes against him now, which is the gamble, is the amount of injuries he gets. I mean, he's come straight back from injury into the starting 11 and scores 2. I think a team will take Danny Ings, and I think it will be a top 4 side that would want to take him for next season.
What about the Euros? Charlie Austin was on talkSPORT Breakfast this morning. He was brilliant, actually. In fact, they had a conversation about the Man United team selection last night, about 8:30 this morning. It was riveting radio, the three of them, Ali McCoist, Laura Woods and Charlie. It was superb. I'll have something to say on that in about an hour's time. But Charlie was on Breakfast this morning. He was talking about Ings and tipped him for the Euros.
He offers, like, do you know when he's in the box? Brilliant. Do you know what I mean? Like you say, you want him on the end of stuff. But outside the box, his work rate and his technically very good. So I don't think he gives as much credit outside the box as well. So I think he just adds something completely different also. That's 3 different strikers there for me. I think he'll only go with 3 because he's got more. You've got to get more attacking players in. And when I say that, it's the midfielders. If you look at what Mason Mount, Jack Grealish, Maddison obviously still in there. You've got Rashford, Sterling, Mason Greenwood. Do you know what I mean? You've got endless number of players that can play. Phil Foden, that can play in them attacking attacking role. So if he does play one up front, he's got so many midfielders, attacking midfielders, that he needs to get in the squad, try and get in the team.
It's very interesting from Charlie. Obviously knows Danny Ings well. This is a great tweet as well from Darren, who says, if Danny Ings was at Leeds United this season, he'd have 25 plus goals and would be in the England squads, which is because he is a terrific finisher. You would probably say he's a better finisher than Bamford on balance. I'm not knocking Patrick Bamford. Everybody knows I'm a big fan. But Danny Ings, being the finisher he is, and the chances Leeds create, I mean, that actually could be a move that I don't know. Listen, I just think he's way too good. He's too good for Southampton. But is he top four though? That's the question.
I think he scores goals wherever he is. I mean, at Liverpool, the opportunities he got were mainly off the bench. I think he probably only scored 4 goals at Liverpool or something like that, Aid. I don't know the exact figures. But I would say if you look at these games he did play, they were coming off the bench. And he never was at the fitness levels he'd have wanted to be. He was coming back from injuries, bad injuries. Southampton, I think he's had a good run of it, and he showed when he gets a run in the Premier League, he will keep scoring goals, and I think there will be plenty of interest in Danny Ings.
All right, he's 29 this summer. He's only had 2 20-plus goal seasons.
Well, not many have that.
2, and 1 was in the Championship.
Not many do have that unless they're at Manchester United,
but
Manchester
you're talking
City.
about top 4.
Yeah, but
he's and in 10 years professional football, he's had 2 20-plus seasons, 1 in the Championship.
How many's Vardy had?
Off the top of my head, couldn't tell you.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So I don't think there's that many, and he's at a top club who have won a title. He would have scored more than 20 that season without a doubt. He might have only had 3. You know what I mean? It's not easy scoring 20 goals. You have to be at one of the bigger clubs to get 20 goals, Ed. It's a lot.
Do you include Conference Premier?
No.
He has had, Jamie Vardy's had 1 in the title-winning season, another one 2 years later, and another one 2 years after that.
So, right.
Hang on, whoa. Leicester are not a regular top 4 team.
They're up there. They're one of the
They've
better
won 1
teams.
title, and this is only their 2nd season in the top 4.
Well, look at last year as well.
They didn't finish top 4.
Competing all season. They fell out of it right at the end. But we're talking Southampton here. We're talking at Southampton, right down at the bottom end of the table, of scoring goals. You've got to give him good credit for that. I mean, any other player, we're bigging up Chris Wood, who's got how many goals this year in the Premier League? 13, 14, something like that. And that's probably his best ever season. And we're bigging him up how good it's a season it's been. Danny Ings...
No, only because he does it every season. That's the key
gets
with
10,
him.
12 goals
in
every
a Burnley
season.
side that's about defending.
Well, in a Southampton team, he's scored
plays more
20-odd
attacking
goals.
football.
He's
It's
scored 20-odd goals, and this year, when he's hardly been
comparing
fit,
apples and oranges.
It's not.
It is outrageous.